Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Broken Roads. This is an upcoming CRPG type game set in the Australian Outback, so a bit appropriate that I have a look at it. In fact, not just look at it, I'm hoping to do a playthrough of it. We've given the channel a little bit of a rest for the past few days, and I've had a think, and I'm generally at my happiest when I just commit to a full playthrough of a game. So touch wood, that's kind of the plan at the moment. Buckle in, the episodes will likely come hard and fast because I tend to set that sort of rhythm. So this will be interesting. Apparently it's got a real moral bent to it. All the load screen pop-ups that I've seen so far are things like quotes from Kant and Locke and all that sort of stuff, which is interesting. I don't mind a moral compass. I quite enjoy waxing philosophical myself and looking into and learning all that stuff. It's a bit off-putting with all these small-head full-time YouTubers and streamers that all they do is talk about politics, yet they've never left the comfort of their room. So we'll see. I'm going in apprehensive, but at the same time, Outback Australia, moral system. It sounds interesting. Biases at the front.
They thought ending the world would end the war.
Oh, Shaz.
That much was passed down.
Right.
Everything else has been lost. When the bombs dropped, 80% of Australia's population was wiped out.
It's truth.
Just like that. Those who weren't immediately vaporized carried the radiation inland, poisoning all the pretty places they crawled to.
Oh,
The desert swallowed the rest.
that was kind of them, wasn't it?
Despite it all, we survived.
Yeah.
We rebuilt. We even formed strong enough allegiances to have wars of our own. But these wars were of disease, of hunger, of people who'd forgotten the sacrifices that have always been made beyond the steady glows of the cities that now choked with dust.
Right.
Our great-grandparents made it. We will too. All it takes to thrive in this new world is guts, grit, and hard yakka.
Oh, hard
That's where
yakka.
you come in.
Fair dinkum. Okay, cool. So what's going on here? Oh, all right. Okay, you've got. All right, so pick a class sort of thing. Hired gun, surveyor, barter crew, jackaroo. Like it's a decision. Surely that's what we pick, right? You were a lost pup. Your parents ditched you at a remote station when you were an infant. The manager brought you in. The station hands took you and you became some sort of mascot to them. You grew up with tools and you can fix most simple machines. You learned how to read an animal, care for its injuries, and put it to work. Oh yeah, they taught you to hunt, giving you the skill to survive just about anywhere. You were hunting in the bush when the raiders came. First sign you had was the pillar of smoke. By the time you got back, everyone you knew were dead. You've been on the go since, looking for a new place to settle down. You thought you might have found it in Brookton. Maybe you could see out your days there. Okay, seems as good a start as any. I'm not really someone who goes super, cerebral with this. I don't love character creators. I find like the game creates your character in a way. So that's fine. We've read the intro. It's a cool intro. I like it. That'll do. What's this? Resolve. So I'm a bit tougher. I'm a bit stronger. Oh, that sounds good. I'm a bit of a tinkerer. Oh, yeah. What was this? Use swanky devices to understand what coal is on about. Oh, okay. Is that my name? You know what makes people tick? Okay. Oh, a bit of biology. Right, of course, because I've been bloody looking after the animals a bit. All right, let's go. Name can't be empty. Oh, you got to pick your head? Oh, yeah, look at this. We've got everyone. Male and female. Okay, I'll just go this bloody pasty default looking dude. I'm going to call myself Gaza. Gaza. Something nice and Australian. Alright, continue. Introduction to the moral compass. Jesus, could you make the font smaller? Alright, here we go. Moral compass shows a 360-degree view of possible dialogue options, attitudes you can hold, and decisions that you can make throughout your journey. Ah, okay. It's divided into 4 parts: utilitarian, nihilist, Machiavellian, and humanist. Capitalized well, I guess it's after Machiavelli, right? With the golden arc representing your worldview, often overlapping different quadrants. Okay, this is interesting. Where a decision lies is not always clear-cut and the borders matter. It's entirely possible to be utilitarian, focused on the greater good for all, which would be this sort of thing, right? Which will suit options in that quadrant close to the humanist border. Okay, this seems ambitious. This is all going to live or die on the writing in the game and the quality of the decision making. But this is cool, I like this. Likewise, you can be within the utilitarian quadrant, but tending far more to be focused on the interests of your own group, with decisions tending toward the Machiavellian border. Oh, so Machiavellian is in-group bias. I suppose, what would you even call that? Because it's clearly the opposite of humanist. And humanist is sort of like save all humans, and this would be save my humans. Yeah, I get it. It's a good enough name. It stands out as a bit strange, but I don't know what you would call it. Again, I like philosophy. I enjoy having deep thoughts, but I wouldn't call myself a student of it. So I don't know what else you'd call it. Anyway, what is it? The Prince? I haven't read that. It's in decades. Okay. Likewise, you'll be... Yep, towards Machiavellian border. Broken roads doesn't reduce things to simple right and wrong or good and evil. Well, good. Let's see if it holds up to that. Because the funny thing about the people that tell you this will then go on to condemn you for not thinking the way that they think. But if you're... Okay, we will give you the benefit of the doubt. And this is reflected in how you can handle the scenarios you face on your journey. Okay, cool. A lot of promise. Part 2, your worldview. The golden arc in the center represents your worldview. Each decision you make can affect the positions on the compass, rotating the worldview slightly toward the decision that you have made. Right? At the center of the compass is a brightly illuminated area of moral tendencies, which allows you to make lower-level moral decisions or expressions of ideas that would otherwise fall outside of their worldview. Right. Note that the further a decision is from the center of your worldview, the larger impact it will have on shifting it. Okay. Plus, the more decisions you make closer to the center of the worldview, the more narrow-minded you will become, allowing you to make higher-level decisions. Oh, conversely, selecting a wider range of choices will make you broad-minded, often allowing for more options, but making certain higher-level decisions and moral traits unique to characters of a particular alignment that can affect dialogue. So does the yellow moral pie slice narrow? Perhaps. Yeah, see how this is outside? So if you were more focused in your utilitarian leanings, the pie would thin and squeeze further out. That's interesting. Because, I know we're still early in. Buckle in, right? This is probably going to be a 100-episode affair, so I'm going to take my time with this. But, you look at things where you have blue-red, good-evil morals, and the games often encourage you to go as hard committed in a direction to get the super juicy rewards at the end of the tree. So this is doing something similar, but arguably more evolved, right? So if you want to be a bit of a people pleaser that can dip your toe into everything, you're not going to get the big payoff at the end. But you're incentivized either way. That's cool. Did we read all that? We did. Perks unique. We did read that. Okay, cool. Continue. The 4 moral quadrants. Philosophical leaning. Right. Okay. It's an interesting setting for this. The Australia in the bush. The moral game. Humanist, each person's dignity matters most. Don't know about that. I've met a lot of people. I choose all meaning and thus what matters. Wait, hang on. I choose all meaning and thus what matters, but what is inalienable is that every person has worth. Okay. Scarlett's going to be putting his morals on the table for this show. This is going to be interesting. For the humanists, each person's dignity matters most simply through existing as a being experiencing the world. Yeah, don't know if I agree with that. Utilitarian, everyone's happiness combined matters most. I mean, I agree with that even less. The greatest good for the greatest number. Alright, so I'll tell you this. I despise the greater good argument, right? Younger me might not have. I'm very different from what I was 10, 20 years ago. But the problem is, on the other end of it, if you have a firm moral founding where you say, this, I will not cross this line, then to me at least you have some sort of actual moral fortitude. Problem with greater good is that can be often twisted and turned into a scenario where every moral position can be broken for the greater good. You know, will you push the baby in front of the bus to save 1 million people, right? You twist these knobs and it's almost maliciously wielded to undermine any moral position. So I'm a bit skeptical about greater good. On paper, it sounds like a good idea. Often in application, it's kind of malicious. For the greatest number, I believe that everyone's happiness combined matters most. Nope. And thus can justify causing harm or suffering depending on the outcome. Okay. That was good. We're on the same page at least. You know, I don't think that's great. Machiavellian, my group matters most. Okay, I'm sitting closer there. The end justifies the means if it favours our pursuit and maintenance of power. As a Machiavellian, my group matters most, regardless of the costs to others. I mean, that's the strongest argument. All of these are going to have a pointy end. You know, you can't get around it. Nihilist, I matter most. Given there's nothing outside of each individual human experience, nothing ultimately matters, and that doesn't bother me. Thus, for the nihilist, I matter most. Close. I mean, I get that, and I would lean towards it before probably these two. Why do I feel like I'm going to sit in the red-purple? More red. Oh, here we... Oh, bloody questionnaire. Got to do the goat test. I'll show you a tunnel snake armada. You and your crew are hacking through the bush when you hear screams off to your right. An unwary bloke stepped on the mating death adders, some mating death adders, and he and the Sheila who pulled him back have both been bitten. They're in for an excruciating death unless you can help them. The problem is you've only got 1 dose of anti-venom. An unwary bloke. So these aren't part of my in-group, which is interesting that I think that immediately. Okay, humanists. Give them both half a dose. It's possible that it'll be insufficient, but it's better than simply letting them die. Yeah. See, immediately, I don't like poking holes in hypotheticals, but I see a huge error in that. It's like, why would you give half the dose when the dose is specific for this, 1 bite, 1 dose? Like, you're sort of interfering with a rule there for the sake of a moral angle. To me, I'm like, 1 dose. That's how it works. You don't split the dose. That's stupid. Save it for yourself if it's breeding season, so there'll be more snakes around. If it's maybe it's breeding season. Utilitarian. Give one of them the anti-venom and put a tourniquet on the other one's leg and leave to get help right away. Yeah. Machiavellian. Give it to the bloke as he is the more senior of the two. He'll remember that you saved his life and it could benefit you later. This is good. This is tough. What an impossible situation. Well, okay, immediately, and this isn't even necessarily a moral component, but the humanist one goes, because splitting the dosage to me just seems stupidity, right? But stupid people have morals as well. Oh, that's fine. Save it for yourself. I mean, yeah, sure. Give them 1 and go get help right away. I don't know enough about this world for this to bear. Give it to the bloke. See, both of these assume... these kind of fly in the face of each other. They feel like two different apocalypses. Forget the moral component. So this one sort of infers that we can go get help. So maybe life is a bit more civilized. Whereas this one, give it to the bloke, let her die, he'll remember, and presumably won't feel bad that his misso or whatever died. Like, this sort of gives us more of a remote, there is no help. Do you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate what the dev's trying to do here, but I don't necessarily see moral diversity so much as I feel like the dev's assuming we understand the world that he's built without showing it to us. I'm going to do the Machiavellian one, bugger it. Anyway, let's keep going. After a series of... okay, so it set my... Oh, look. Yeah, that makes sense anyway. We know that we're going to lean that way going forward. So that... Yeah, okay. After a series of raids on caravans passing near your home, you put together a scouting party. You've caught a bandit leader and one of his raiders. The leader pleads for release, pledging to comply with your terms. Do you free him? What? He's a fucking raider and we caught him. This is called comeuppance. Execute them both on the spot. Better not to have that kind of headache. Yep. Take him back to town to stand trial. This is not your call to make. Isn't it though? Come on. This is... I'm so excited by the promise of this game. But again, what is the world that we live in? Like, if this was morals in today's society, I would answer it very differently to if it's Mad Max. Or is it somewhere in between? Is it like there's cities and, they said there's been generations pass on. So maybe civilization has sort of regrown. This assumes law and order is still a thing. This is I don't like this start. I don't like these questions, and it's making me not think into them too much. Escort them far away, warning that if you catch them again, they're dead. Nah. Tell him that you'll let one of them go, free him or his raider, and he gets to choose which one lives. I mean, that's cruel, but there's actually another layer to it. Because that... Consider this. Consider, if you execute them both on the spot, after a series of raids, you've caught our bandit leader and one of his raiders. I'm probably going to go Machiavellian, because killing them doesn't deal with the problem. The raiders are going to keep going, and they might not even know what happened to the two dudes that died. So, ergo, keep raiding. Or promote a new bandit leader. They may keep raiding, they may change their mind. At least if we do this, one of them gets the bullet, and the other one, sure, we could make an enemy out of them, but they're already raiding everything, so that probably makes them a bad problem anyway. But there's a scenario where maybe they actually learn their lesson and they leave you the fucking alone. Let's go with that. Question: a nearby townstead has a new chief, and he's starting to flex his muscles. He sends an envoy with a threat: pay tribute or suffer his wrath. He clearly has the military strength to back it up. Do you pay? Okay, this is interesting. If he thinks he can take it, let him come. You're not scared of his threats, okay? Machiavelli. Negotiate with the envoy and escort him back. Concealed, your top fighters follow. In town, publicly execute... This is a lot of conditionals. Usually it'd be one sentence, but the fact that it's 10 dot points it dilutes the hypothetical. In town, publicly execute the envoy, displaying his head on a spike. Warn the others to surrender their chief or face the same fate. And he's starting to flex his muscles. He sends an envoy with a threat. Pay a tribute or suffer his own. Send scouts to see if he can enforce his demands. If he can pay up. If he can, pay up. If he can't, send him a mocking reply and dare him to come take it. Send an envoy in return and try to negotiate with the new chief. War hurts everyone, and maybe you can work out a way of mutual benefit. God, part of me is just tempted to hard lean into this, even though it seems extreme. But again, this is responding to hostilities in a post-apocalyptic... I don't understand the world enough. The way I honestly see it, the lens that I look through is we're in a hard post-apocalypse, like bloody Walking Dead or something like that, right? This new dude's rocking up, he's flexing, you slap him. You slap him so hard that he learns. That's essentially my takeaway. I'm just going to go Machiavellian again, bugger it. Bugger it, we'll lean hard into it. Alright, another question. Oh my god, this is taking forever. I'll try and zip through it, but, you know, I'm enjoying it. I'm curious what the game's going to be like. A child in the village has started showing symptoms of the plague. The town chose to quarantine him and his family, but you caught him sneaking out of the house to play with other kids. What now? Oh, we're going to introduce children. Let him go with a warning? What? If he's not contagious, you're all infected now too. If he's not... if he's contagious, you're all infected. If he's not, no harm done. That's not how contagion works, dickhead. And that just sets a standard that, okay, maybe they're not infected. Everyone else is going to know that everyone else is going to sneak out. Maybe they don't all know. I guess he was sneaking. Rally some neighbours and evict the entire family from town. Make an example of their carelessness. Tempting. Send him back to his house under careful guard. The whole family will have to leave town if they continue to put everyone at risk. Return him to his house and explain to the family what will happen in town if they are all infected. Make them see reason. See, this answer is a morality of a world that never fell, right? This is tomorrow morning, you know? I'm not living there. I'm living in Fury Road. A child in the village has started showing symptoms. The town chose to quarantine him and his family, right? And then he snuck out anyway. Fuck him. Get rid of him. Bugger it. We're going hard Machiavellian, I've decided. Now I'm committed. You've been captured by people who clearly have gone mad. Is this triangle getting bigger? What are these pips? I don't know. You've been captured by people who've clearly gone mad, finding yourself in a pen along with a Jew farmer you've met before, a mercenary stripped of his weapons, and a terrified young family. Again, this flies in the face of some of the moral crap that they're putting. You know, if this is the road and people are getting locked up to, I don't know, get eaten or traded or something like that, why are you having morals where you're going to sit down with the family and have a bloody heart-to-heart about their kid? No, you're not. No room for that person in my town. Anyway... The captors assemble a massive pyre, indicating their intent for a twisted sacrifice. Oh my god. Noticing a guard's distraction, you're certain you can escape on your own, but every person you bring with you increases the chances that you'll get caught. Take advantage of the distraction. Hang on. Noticing a guard's... Oh, he's just generally distracted. Try to get everyone out, saving as many as you can. Slip away on your own. The others will simply have to fend for yourselves. Convince the merc to come with you. The Jew farmer can likely find his own way out, but the family will be nothing but a liability. Well, that's so cold, but I'm already that hard Machiavellian. Maybe I just commit. It looks like my things are wobbling a bit. Humanist. Get the family out first. The other captives should be able to handle themselves. No. Not in the apocalypse. I mean, having said that... This is interesting, because it's all morals, right? This bloody twisted sacrifice pyre stuff. I'm actually tempted to do that, even though that flies in the face of everything that I'm saying, right? Because... I'm not trying to roleplay someone who's morally evil. I'm just trying to be honest with some of my answers. And a family getting sacrificed to evil people, that's pretty dark, man. You know? You know, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to take the humanist answer. Throw a spanner in the works of my moral leanings. You've discovered a cache of pre-apocalypse supplies in an abandoned farmhouse. You can't carry it all back on your own, so you enlist a few friends from town to help. When you return to the cache, you find a group of emaciated scavengers in the process of looting the place for themselves. Do you let them take the supplies? Nope. No way. Threaten the scavengers, and if they don't hand over the supplies, kill them. Okay, yeah. Let them take the supplies, but secretly follow them back to their home. Once you're there, you can loot the goods. And see, again, this is a bit too evil. Let me just draw a line if it's not clear. The dudes that were muscling and attacking and just generally being antagonistic in the previous questions, I'll kill them to make an example. Gladly, that's my position. These are guys that are just scavenging and they've come up against me, right? That doesn't make them bad. They're not stealing from me. They've come across a cache and I want it, they want it, right? So I'm not actually going to call for that. Let them go. They're starving and clearly need the supplies more than you do. No, that's not how it works. Plus, they had no way of knowing you found them first. True, but still, no. My group. Tell them you found the place first and offer to split the takings. Better to get less than you wanted than to spill blood or get nothing at all. No way. Threaten the scavengers, and if they don't hand over the supplies, kill them. Honestly, I don't think that's terribly unreasonable, right? Yeah, stuff them. Take quiz again? No. Let's go. This is taking forever, but I don't mind. Alright, attributes and skills. Calculated from 2 attributes. Fortitude, strength and agility. What? Oh, okay, fortitude is calculated from strength and agility. Temperance, wisdom. Okay, I say. It's similar to Dungeons and Dragons. Each origin story comes with unique bonuses. For hired gun... Alright, okay. No, we had a look at our bonuses. In the example to the right, with 8 in resolve and 13 awareness, all skills in temperance would be 21. I see. Shooting mastery has a bonus of 10 from the hired gun. Right, okay. I'll take your word for it, game. Sure. In combat, movement points are... This gets a little bit too anal for me. I'm happy to just throw shit at the wall and then roll with it. In combat, movement points are derived from agility and strength, while action points are determined by agility and intelligence. Movement is agility and strength, and action points are agility and intelligence. Keep that in mind. Okay, sure. One of the unique skills in Broken Roads is the ability to have a punt. Have a punt. Take a shot, mate. Essentially taking a risk on something uncertain. Is this an Australianism? I guess it is. Have a punt. Yeah, it must be. I don't know if Americans know what that means. Take a risk, have a gamble. Shoot your shot, you know? Your player character has a pool of punt points, PP, that they can draw on if they need to attempt a skill check that they fall just short of, or if they want to increase the accuracy of a particular attack in combat. Alright, so it's sort of like luck, I suppose. Punt is derived from charisma, plus any additional points added to the punt skill. Each additional skill point doesn't directly equal 1 additional punt point, however. Skills attain different effects whenever a threshold is reached. In the example, the character has a rank 2 punt skill, increasing their punt from 32. Okay, sure, I get it. Close. Gaza. Can I auto assign? Fair enough. What do we got here? 8, 7, 7s. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Sure. What about here? Shooting's 26. Yeah. Tinker, 20. Yeah, okay, that's Drunken Master. Okay. What does that even mean? Like, is it just boxing? Just melee, I guess? They've got different colours as well. Oh, right. They're sort of derivatives. So these are fortitude style skills, temperance, wisdom. Okay, sure. Whatever. Bugger it. Those will do. They're my points. Party gained XP. Stranger. He runs his hands down his arms and legs as you approach, sloughing off waves of red dust. Welcome to Taylor's Farm. Continue. Oh, there's my moral compass. Okay, cool. Jacob said you're on your way. Mate, we're delighted to have you. He claps his hands on his shoulders and gives you a friendly shake. It's good land down near Wandering. Haven't seen it myself, of course. It's beautiful countryside. You heard it right. Lots of good, rich soil. Land is land. I can turn anywhere into a paradise. Any plot is what you make it. Yeah, let's go with that one. True in some ways, not in others. He nods at the windmill. Sometimes you can do your best and Mother Nature just doesn't want to play ball. Regardless, Sean. Regardless, you'll find the work a little different to what you're used to. Wandering's farmland, but here we mostly raise sheep, camels and pigs. We keep the roos and rabbits out and the occasional poacher. Think you can handle it? Oh, we'll find out, won't we? No, don't be. Wouldn't be here if I didn't. I hope so. It can't be so difficult. Wouldn't be here if I didn't. Then let's get you started. He pushes his sleeves up to his elbows. Oh, okay. And looks around the farm. I kind of like the art. It's got a bit of a cartoony look to it, in a way. He pushes his sleeves up to his elbows and looks around the farm. We've got sheep dung to move into town for the garden, water to fill the tubs in overnight paddock, and a stuck windmill. There's a bucket and shovel in the trailer for manure. Okay, cool. I won't fault you if you can't get the windmill going. It's about time we sent up to Meriden for parts anyway. He peers into the distance. Oh, and a jumbuck's got his head stuck in the fence again. Probably bitey. Go on outside and give him a shove back in, will you? Okay, sure. Come find me when you're done. He heads towards the overnight paddock where a sheep is hobbling around with an injured leg. Okay, I've got some quests. Player and camera movement. To move your character around the map, left click on an area, white circles will appear on the ground. Yeah, left click to speak. WASD. Middle mouse button to drag. Got it. Important tabs. I've got tabs at the bottom. Yeah, cool. I understand. This one's my journal. It's got my active quests. Very cool. Theory and practice. Alright, we got work to do. Oh, look at this. Off I go. There's a chook. Do I have... Who are you? John. He takes a sip of tea from a battered tin mug as you approach. The grey in his hair catches the sunlight as he puts his mug down and turns to shake your hand. His voice is so quiet you have to strain to hear. Bloody good to have you here, mate. Oh, you got another cuppa on hand? He glances involuntarily at his cup and smiles. Not right now, but I'll ask Sarah to bring 3 cups next time she makes the trip. All right, I will. Oh, look at the deck chair over here. Let's go. There's a strange quality to his voice that you can't quite place. Part strain, part whisper. It sounds painful, but he seems completely relaxed. Yeah, pretty much exactly what I just did. Wait, what's wrong with your voice? No, don't do that. Is that shooting range? Oh, no. How long's this farm been here? He's silent for a moment. Oh, must be going on 25 years now. We were here before Mick, before Sal. He starts counting on his fingers. Alana just showed up, and thank God she did, or we'd be still eating nothing but roo. Pretty much the only people we don't predate are the scouts. Oh. Mixell. Oh, you've got a lot of history here, then. Oh, never a dull moment, but a long stretch of years. He scratches his cheek. Tough to put it all into words, but yeah, this is home. Who or what are the scouts? Oh, yeah? Oh, peacekeepers, hired guns, just north of here. We spot trouble, we call them. Good bunch. Young, now that Della... Wait, hang on. Young. Now that Della's not there to lead them, but good hearts mostly. Right. Mixell, Alana, who are they? He gives you a sudden boyish grin. Oh, I forgot you're brand new. Don't you worry, you'll meet them. Mix, the de facto mayor of Brookton, leads the barter crew. Sel runs the pub, and Alana takes care of the crops. Cut any one of them, they'll bleed red dirt. Good solid folk. 25 years, I didn't think anywhere had been around that long. It gets to feel a bit that way, doesn't it? That's why when you find a good thing, you've got to hold on tight. His eyes go automatically to Sean, tending to the injured sheep. Oh, okay, fair enough. I had some other questions. Go for your life, kid. Anything need doing? Talk to Sean about that if you don't mind. He's got a good eye for spotting problems before they arise. I'm not going to ask him what's wrong with his voice. That's rude. Is this shooting range just for show? I should get going. You need anything, I'll be here. Alright, can I Wazda? I can. So can I like, Oh, tab! Tab! Perfect. Alright. Let's grab a shovel. Grab a bucket. Grab some feed. Oh, I've got an Akubra. Let's go. Inventory. Party inventory shows all your crap. I understand. To equip and unequip stuff. Yeah, cool. Close. Put that on my head. Oh, there. Oh, look at this. I've got a tinny. Drop bear beer. It looks like a VB. A 375ml sip of heaven that also increases initiative in combat somehow. Wait, I've got a grenade? What the actual? Yeasty spread sandwich. Small water bottle. Hunting rifle and a hunting knife. Roger! Okay, cool. Oh, I can't see my hat? That makes me a bit sad, to be honest. Alright, so we're going to pick up cow shit. That's part of the mission, isn't it? Bitey. Alright, let's have a chat with this bloody jumbuck. Bitey. He gets his own profile pic and everything. Main character. This ragged-eared jumbuck has gotten his head stuck in the fence while trying to eat a nearby bush. He looks up at you with ruminant hatred as he stands perfectly still, legs splayed from when he braced to try to pull himself free. Okay? As you regard his predicament, he lets out a massive fart and a wet slop of manure lands in the dry grass behind him. You and me both, pal. His face tenses and he lets forth another torrent of shit. Then he calmly resumes chewing. Alright. Let's see. Examine the fence. He shifts minutely as you suddenly see that the part of the fence he's got his head stuck in is actually a flap, and that he could pull free any time that he wanted. A good shearing would make it easier for him, though. Examine bitey. The wires of the fence look sharp, but they tangle in his wool before they even get close to the skin. What's more, there's one wire in particular that runs across under his chin at a perfect height for him to rest his head on. He actually seems quite comfortable. I've had dogs and that do stuff like this. It's just sticking his head there because it's comfy. Try to pull him free. Try to push Bitey's head back through the gap. Pull from behind. Bad idea. I'll push his head through. He doesn't take kindly to having your hands on his face. It's a short, sharp struggle as he tries to catch the flat skin of your palms between his teeth, but finally he's free of the fence and you're unscathed. He huffs and steps genteelly out of the mounting pile of filth. Highlighting interactions. Yeah, we figured that out. Snorts. There you go, Bitey. Give me your shit. Bah. Right, roger. Alright. Can I press J? Yeah, cool. Fix the windmill, collect more fertilizer, fill the overnight water troughs next to the windmill. Oh, what's this? Scrap? Okay. Watch out, piggies. We've got a camel over there as well. Narrator. This is the tub Sean asked you to fill. There's a bucket and hose nearby, hooked up to a water tank. Okay, fill the bathtub. Tub is filled with, well, it's definitely mostly water. Okay. Did I get all the poo? Bring the manure back, fix the windmill. Alright, let's investigate this windmill. Taylor's Farm Windmill. The whole structure sways slightly as you climb the rusted ladder. You can hear the straining of the windmill before you can see the mechanism properly. It's trying to turn in the weak breeze, but something is stopping it. Examine the windmill. Try to spin it by hand. Kick it. Examine. It's not moving and some of the parts look rusty. As far as you can tell, there's no reason it shouldn't be moving. It just isn't. Maybe some oil would help. Try to spin it by hand. You grip the hot metal, but the veins won't move. Something inside must be keeping them still. I mean, I don't know if kicking it's the way to go, but bugger it. You hold onto the tower and give one of the veins a hefty kick. It bends slightly and your foot hurts, but that's all that happens. You've done absolutely nothing to help the situation, but the inanimate object now bloody well knows its place. Leave the windmill alone. Oil, you reckon? Let's have a bit of a gander. Oh, I can hear all the chooks going Burko. Oh, here we go. Surely. Turpentine. Terps is really in short supply. I don't know if that'd quite be the answer. Boring. Oh, I don't know. Every farmer's heyday starts here. I'll just do a final lap. Just drink the turpentine, I reckon. Oh, what's this? The tailors have clearly been keeping the fence in good condition, as the razor wire has not dulled at all. Oh, we're back up here. Apply oil to the parts that look rusty. There we go. You apply the oil liberally to anything that looks stuck. Something behind the vein clicks and the rotors begin to turn. Look at that, mate. I'm going to get extra bloody bonus points for that one. Alright, Sean. You're back. What do you need? I've picked up all the manure. Awesome. Hope you use gloves. Just kidding. When you're done with everything else, I'll get you to help me run it into town. I filled the water trough. Oh, so I saw. Thanks. That'll keep these blighters from getting parched during the night. He gives the sheep in front of him an affectionate pat. I got the windmill working. Oh, you're kidding, you bloody ripper. Oh. Strong expression of delight, approval, or excitement. Oh my god, this is so aimed at Americans. He looks up at the windmill in delight. Oh, that'll make a hell of a difference on the books. We've been paying the Jew farmers prices, but it's been putting us in the red for months. Next time there's a slaughter, Dad'll set you up with the good potatoes. That's for sure. Okay, thanks. Bitey seems pretty comfortable with his head in the fence. I think he likes it there. Figured out our little charade, did ya? He grins up at you. You keep paying attention to your animals like that, you're going to make a fine stockman. Now. He looks up at you with a twinkle of mischief in his eyes. He bite ya? Yeah, nah. Nah, yeah. Yeah, nah. He seems impressed. Too fast for the bugger, eh? Oh, what's a bugger? Of a person, a bastard. Of an action, to do it poorly. I love that it's going to explain all these Australianisms. Keep an eye on him. He'll get you when you least expect it. Righto. He seems... Oh, no. Okay, yep, cool. He takes a look around the farm. Check, 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 check. Yep, good work, mate. Now I've got to get little Limpy here sorted. Sorted. Under control. I might as well mouse over it because there's going to be people that have no idea what I'm talking about. And we can be on our way into town with that manure. Test the leg by straightening it, by bending it, yank on it in case... No. Feel around the joint for lumps. See if you can straighten it. The use bar is in discontent. Careful there, mate. Don't want to make it worse. Can you bend it? You woofs, but otherwise doesn't react. Sean strokes his head. We'll get you on the right track, little girl. What do you think the problem is? So it can bend it, but it can't stretch it? Torn ligament? I don't know about that. You'd just be in agony full stop. A moderate sprain? Some kind of impact injury? I'd say it's a sprain. My thoughts exactly. I was pretty sure, but it never hurts to get a second opinion. Thanks. No worries, mate. As for treatment, he looks down at the U. Bind it, rest it. If we had any, I'd say ice it. He looks up, judging by the time of day. Sal will be in the middle of prepping for the evening rush. I'll ask her tomorrow. In the meantime, I'll get Limpy here to set up the rest. It really seems like for this apocalypse, because they've jumped forward a few generations, I'm starting to understand it now. It feels more like small country town, almost a jump back a few decades, few generations, in a way, like blast from the past, futurism. That's how it feels. It's almost like a 50s apocalypse. Let's wrap that leg, little one. Now, with Limpy sorted, we can be on our way to town with that manure. Sounds good. He looks at the full bucket of manure with a grin. Lovely work, eh, mate? Let's get this batch to Alana. She's gonna be tickled pink. Just get on with it. Alana? Yeah, Jess's mum. Tends, I don't know any of these names. We'll figure it out as we go. Tends the garden in the middle of town. You'll meet her in a minute. Let's go. Head to town with Sean. Right. Well, I've let this episode run a little bit over just to get a bit more covered. Autosave? Oh, it auto-saved. Yeah. Alright, well look, maybe we'll just put a pin in. That seems like an organic place to put it, even though they won't let me press escape. I guess I'll just have to record some more. Anyway, cool. Broken roads. This is interesting. I think they sort of made a little bit of a misstep in the moral setup at the beginning. Just, there was assumed knowledge, and this happens with developers with their build, usually from a gameplay perspective. They've played the build for billions of hours. They forget that we don't know anything about it going in. So it feels like a lot of those moral questions were assuming that we understood that the futurism, apocalypse, world setting, whatever you'd like to call it, is more of a sort of post-war Australiana country town civilization, but still rural civilization. Kind of not that different from, well, I guess nowadays in some areas, but, you can turn back the clock a bit, right? Because like I said, there's all sorts of different visions of an apocalypse. It seems that this one's got a lot more civilization in it, but it probably allows for more wild fringe stuff, like, cults of people that'll sacrifice captured people and raiders. So a more violent component to it. So it's not quite Mad Max. So it's interesting. I feel if that was made more clear somehow, I don't know how, then the moral questions would have borne much more weight, because I was generally dismissive of as a lot of the ones that were based within the confines of a modern society. When the game already said 80% of the world got wiped out by bloody nuclear weapons, I kind of assumed we're all eating each other like cannibals, and I think most people will assume that. Anyway, so they're just some initial thoughts. So a little bit of a fumble on the moral setup, but at the same time, I know the kind of crowd that go in for these sort of games. They hit the restart button a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people do their first character and moral thing. They get kind of to here where they start to understand the world, and they probably restart it and redo the questions through the new lens of that new moral vision or understanding, I suppose. Is that the right way to go about it? I don't know, but I don't know if there's a better way to do it. Well, we'll persevere anyway, because bugger it. I made my decisions. I'll commit. Anyway, team. Let me know if you want to see some more, but chances are, honestly, I'm enjoying this and I'm going to buckle in and do a lot more episodes. So, stand by to stand by. All right, team. Might just leave it there for the time being. I'll catch you guys on the next one.